Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Doing some more small pond fishing. As you can see, it is mid-January. Temperatures in the mid-20s right now. It's supposed to warm up. I don't know if you can tell from this, but the ponds are actually partially covered with ice, which I expected, but I'm hoping it'll sort of burn off or at least get thin enough that I can break through by mid-afternoon. Yeah, I don't know what the fishing's gonna be like. Fishing could be slow, so today I'm gonna talk about how the heck I have 20,000 subscribers, why I only get, less than 1,000 views, some things I was thinking about doing with the channel, but I'm not sure. So yeah, we'll talk about that today, but let's finish this walk. I'm about halfway through a mile walk to get back to the pond I want to get to, so just taking a break to talk to you. That's why I'm breathing heavy. So anyway, yeah, that's enough of that. Let's get this walk over with and get to fishing. There's some ice, as expected, a lot of ice, but there's also open water, so should be able to find something. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully I can break through some of this ice too. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Got a couple new things to try out here besides my mic, which I think I showed you last video, but I also, instead of having the chesty strap that can get sort of uncomfortable sometimes, I mean, it's not terrible, but when it's super hot out and I take it off, I realize how much it was compacting my PFD to me. So I wanted to try one of these magnetic clips for the chesty. So I tucked it inside there. There's a backing that you tuck inside there. Then this just, it's a super strong magnet. Should hopefully free up my PFD a little bit. So, all right, let's get out there. This ice is going to take over pretty soon, I'm sure, so let's try to get a few more pond fish. All right. So besides talking about my crazy ass channel metrics, how I have over 20,000 subscribers for my tiny little channel, but I only get less than 1,000 views. We'll talk about that in a while. I want to fish a little bit first, but also besides that, I want to try a few just weird things. I was watching the Bass Pro Tour at Lake Guntersville yesterday, and of course, Lake Guntersville, Alabama, and a tiny pond in Colorado are about as opposite as you can get. But a ton of those guys, like at least the ones they were showing on the webcast, most of those guys were throwing orange lipless crankbaits or orange chatterbaits, and it's not something I would think to throw here this time of year. But I figured, what the heck? It'd be a cool little experiment. Let's see if the same baits that work at giant Lake Guntersville in January will work at a tiny Colorado pond. Pretty stupid, huh? But I'm going to try it anyway. How's that angle look? I don't know. Camera seems a little tilted. We might have to play around with that. Let's see what this water temperature is. Maybe like 32 and a half. Nah, it's probably mid 40s, I'd guess. Water, well, let's give it time to get its bearings. It's showing 35 at the moment, but I know sometimes it takes a few minutes for that thing to get a true reading. But 35 would not surprise me. Let's straighten this out a little bit. Hold on, let's try to do it without tipping the boat. How about that? That would be even better. Ooh, man, going in 35-degree water. I mean, luckily I'm close to shore here, but that would not be good, obviously. I am a master of the obvious. Let's try slow rolling a spinnerbait. I haven't done that for a while. I don't think I've ever done that at this pond either. Actually, real quick, let's see how thick this ice is. Get a little video of it for Instagram. Instagram loves kayaks breaking through ice, don't they? Oh, hear that? That's the sound of winter fishing. Okay, so yeah, we can bust through it if we need to. Well, it looks like the water's up to 38, so that's not too bad. Ooh, look at all that. What is going on down there? Alright, we'll slow down with maybe a drop shot or a Nico rig. I don't know, there's definitely signs of life down here. You know what? Before I slow down dragging a drop shot or a Texas rig, let's do like I said and try this orange. Let's try this orange lipless crankbait. Just like the boys out in Alabama are doing. Can't hurt to put a little bait fuel on it. God, I don't know if I've ever thrown this bait. Like I said, it's just a cheap Walmart Cotton Cordell lipless crankbait. It's got these trash hooks on it. If it actually works, then of course I'll change those out and put on some Trocars, but I don't want to do that yet. I don't want to waste any Trocar hooks if I'm not going to use it. So if you got any suggestions for a good lipless crankbait, let me know in the comments. I've had, back when I used to throw them more, I had pretty good luck with the red eye shads, so I know those are good lipless crankbaits. I think KVD had something to do with designing those. He's no slouch, obviously. I think he knows what he's doing he knows his way around a lipless crankbait. But I'm sure there's some other good brands out there that I should try out. Alright, well, I was gonna try to catch one first before I started just talking about the channel stuff, but I guess while I'm fishing slow and dragging around here, it's good a time as any. But yeah, so you may have noticed that I have over 20,000 subscribers, which is just ridiculous for a tiny Colorado-based 53-year-old kayak angler. That makes no sense, right? And then you look at my views, if you pay attention to that sort of thing, and you see that I only have I'll average 500-600 views. Some will go over 1,000, I guess, but I don't get a ton of views. And so you're like, what's up with that? So I started YouTubing about 3 years ago, I guess, and it's just doing like everybody, just sort of slowly but steadily making videos, slowly gaining subscribers, doing it the organic way, and just posting fishing content, kayak fishing content. And I grew up skateboarding. I don't do it a whole lot anymore. I'm getting too old for it, and I broke my back doing it about 5 years ago, so I still go to the skate park occasionally and just roll around. But this one day I was at the skate park and there was a rat in one of the big bowls. And so the guys swept the rat out of the bowl and it went running across the park and jumped right into another bowl. And I happened to get it on my phone, on video.
Yeah! Oh, shit. Watch out! At least you can get out of that one.
And it was a pretty funny video, and I posted it on Instagram, and it started kind of blowing up on Instagram. And I think at this time in YouTube I had about 700 subscribers, 600 or 700 subscribers maybe. You have to get monetized on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and I forget how many watch hours. So I figured, what the heck, this rat video, even though it's got nothing to do with fishing, it's sort of blowing up on Instagram, let me throw it up on my YouTube shorts, maybe gain a few subscribers and get closer to that 1,000 subscriber threshold. And it went absolutely nuts, insanely viral. I think I haven't looked at it in months. I don't pay attention to it anymore. But last time I looked, it had 27 million views, over 27 million views. I racked up, I think at one point I had 23,000 subscribers just from that one video. So yeah, it was ridiculous. Not at all what I expected to happen with that thing. So yeah, I did get monetized, which was the good thing. I got my 1,000 subscribers just from that one little less than a minute video. I got the watch hours required to get monetized. So that was all cool. And I just kept making my fishing videos and doing my content. I didn't post any more, skate related stuff. It was just that one. The comments were coming from like Russia and Israel and just all these crazy places. So at first it was kind of cool, like, man, I got a legit viral video. But honestly, I think in the long run it kind of hurt my channel because, of those 23,000 people that subscribed because of the rat video, I would say roughly 0 of them give a crap about my fishing content. And they started falling off over time. Like I said, I got 23,000 at one point. Now I'm down to like 20,000. So they are falling away, but which is fine. I wish they all would. I have no idea how the algorithm works. I don't really get that into this stuff to really pay attention to that, but I gotta figure the algorithm doesn't like how upside down my subscribers to views are. It looks at it and says, well, this guy's got 20,000 subscribers, but he gets less than 1,000 views. His content must suck, so we're not going to push it. We're not going to recommend it to people. I don't know if that's the case, but I sort of suspect it. I've talked to a couple other people who do know more about this stuff. They say, yeah, that there's a good chance that is actually happening. So I think it actually kind of hurt my channel, and I've even considered making a video saying, hey, if you subscribed just because of the rat video, like just go ahead and unsubscribe. Don't really need you. Thanks, but no thanks. But of course, those 20,000 people don't actually watch my videos, so they're not going to see it. So it would have been a waste of time. So I've actually lately been toying with the idea of, do I want to just start over? Just scrap this channel, make a video saying, hey, this is what's going on. I'm starting a new channel just to purge these 20,000 subscribers that don't care about fishing content. I'd have to start over with the monetization, but that's not that big a deal. I don't make much money at all from YouTube videos. Maybe $30 a month, $20 to $30 a month. So it's nothing life-changing. It's nothing that I'm going to miss. But, then I'm starting from scratch. If I made a video saying, hey, come over to this new channel, I don't know how many of you would actually see that and actually follow me over there. So, then am I going back to, 20, 30, 40, 50 views a video instead of a few hundred? So I don't frickin' know, And with YouTube, unfortunately, not like with Facebook or Instagram where if somebody's a dick and you don't want them following you can just delete them or block them. You can't do that with YouTube. You can't delete followers or subscribers. You can't get rid of them. You can't even see, in most cases, you can't even see who's subscribing to you. People have to actually go in and on their profile check, allow channels to see that I subscribe to them. But the default is you can't even see who's subscribed to you. So I have no idea who is or isn't subscribed to me. I can't even go in and just sort by how many videos they've used. If they've only looked at the rat video, gone, delete them. But I can't even do that. So sure does look cool. When you first come to my profile or my page, you say, dang, this guy's got 20,000 subscribers. Who is this, freaking Greg Blanchard or something? Who the heck is this guy? No, just got lucky with a viral video, or unlucky, I guess. I don't know if it's even lucky, but it's been sort of a curse. It was cool at first, but I'm sort of over it now. And I really wish I just had, grown the channel more organically and strictly had subscribers who were into the kayak fishing content. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. Let me know what you think in the comments. If I did start a new channel, do you pay attention to this stuff enough that you would follow me over there? I don't know. Who knows if it would even help, but I could do all that and then the algorithm still wouldn't recommend my content. And I don't even know if that's happening. It's entirely possible that I'm only getting 500-600 views because, and that's fine. I'm not complaining about 500 or 600 views. I'm more than happy with that. I would never started this channel with the intentions of becoming the next Greg Blanchard or Bailey Agbrett or whoever. Again, 53-year-old kayak bass angler based in Colorado. That's about as niche as you can get. I really did not... Niche? I don't know. Niche. Let's go with niche. That's about as niche of a channel as you can get. So I was never expecting to make a living or make a bunch of money off this channel. So it's not like I'm unhappy with the 500 or 600 views that I get per video. But I do kind of wonder if I would be able to grow those views a little bit faster without those 20,000 skate rat subscribers sort of dragging me down. I don't know. just something to think about and something to talk about while the fishing is slow. So yeah, I'm curious what you think about it. Let me know in the comments, and let's get back to fishing. Try to catch a freaking fish here. I'm gonna go bust through that ice here pretty soon and head to the other side. So yeah, when I talk about, possibly just starting over, the reason it's so daunting is because I have been slowly growing over the last 3 years. Since the skate rat video, I still get a few subscribers every video. So I've been slowly but surely building up a legitimate subscriber base. I figure I've probably got, 1,500 to 2,000 legitimate subscribers, who actually signed up for my fishing content and not for stupid rats at skate park videos, So it would suck to start over again and lose most of those. It's just crazy what hits and what doesn't. I put all this time and effort into these fishing videos and try to make them slick and nice production, try to have something interesting rather than just casting and retrieving and catching fish. Don't always succeed, but that's the goal. And then a freaking 40-second video of a rat at a skate park. Turns out that's what people actually want to see. It's ridiculous. Social media is so freaking weird. But I also know how hard it is to just build a channel from the ground up and to build it organically. And I would hate to start over. I've got buddies who you've seen on this channel and who I've talked about a bunch, recommended their channels, but specifically Matt Collins Fishing and CX Angling, which is my buddy Chen Charlie. They both make content pretty regularly, and their content honestly is way better than mine as far as production value. They spend more time mixing the sound and color correcting and editing and all that stuff. I'm pretty quick and dirty when it comes to my edits. I don't do a lot of sound mixing. That's why I finally got this microphone, so hopefully the audio quality is a little bit better. But those guys put way more time and effort into it, and sometimes they struggle to get the views, and sometimes they don't though. Sometimes something will hit, like Chen's latest video where he won the championship at Pueblo. I think it's got over 1,400 or 1,500 views, so that's awesome. And he's got like 700 or 800 subscribers, and he's getting videos that get that many views, so that's freaking awesome. I'm stoked to see that, because someone like him who puts in the time with his editing, deserves to get rewarded with views like that. So it's awesome to see. But then there's other ones that are just as good that only get a few hundred. Same with Collins. He's got some really awesome videos. One like he went to Lake 10 Killer for a Bassmaster, and he did it for the Army Outdoors team and all this stuff, and it only gets a few hundred views. It sucks to see that, because his stuff is really freaking good. And so there's that kind of stuff in the back of my mind. Like, if I start over, am I gonna, put all this time and effort into these videos and just get even less than I do now? So, I don't know. It's first world problems, I guess. I'm not complaining again. This isn't me complaining about, I only get 500 or 600 views. That's not at all what this is. It's more just, I do wonder if my stuff doesn't get recommended as much as it could. Just because of my upside down subscribers to view ratio. So that's the only reason that sort of sparked this conversation. But ultimately, probably not worth it to start over. So we'll just keep grinding the way we've been doing. Filming, editing, and I do like it. I didn't start this to make money. I started this because I enjoy filming and editing. Always have. I used to make skate videos. Now I transferred to making fishing videos, and I enjoy making the videos, and it's as much for me as it is for anybody else. I like going back and seeing old trips and getting to relive it. So yeah, I guess I just talked myself into just keeping this channel. No need to restart one. Got a good thing going. Might as well just stick with it. What will be, will be. What else should we try? I tied on a weightless Texas rig because I was going to throw a poop bait, the, what's it called, the Dips cover scat, but I don't feel like throwing it. I feel like, since I'm fishing deeper, I think an actual Texas rig with a cross style bait would be better. So let's throw a weight on here. Alright, I've had success in the past here with the, with this, oh geez, I forget the name of it already. Crush City Cleanup Craw. And this green pumpkin with blue flake. Got that, of course, on a trocar. Oh, what is that called? Is that the mag worm hook? I forget. It's 3/0, but it's the one with the hook keeper, which I'm a big fan of. So, let's do some Texas rigging. Oh, we got one. We got one. Nice. Didn't skunk. We didn't skunk. All right. Not a big fella, but we are stoked to have him. Skinny little fella. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to fool you with the fake meal. Quick video of you, and then we'll let you go. Got it done. Didn't skunk. Let's go. Okay. Here he goes. He gone. All right. Another thing I can talk about, since the fishing is slow, got to mention, I made a short about it, but myself and a couple of the guys from the fishing club, we started a podcast called the CKB Podcast, which of course stands for Colorado Kayak Bassmasters. It's not something we expect to take off and gain a bunch of national attention. We're not looking to be the next Bass Talk Live or even KBN. You know, it's really just for and about our local clubs here. You know, we'll get into talking to some of the other clubs in the surrounding states, but it's really just, you know, to talk about club business, recap tournaments, talk to winners, you know, and we'll also do stuff that doesn't just apply to the club. Like our next episode, we've only done one so far, one official one. And our next episode is going to be about why you should join a fishing club and start fishing tournaments, and, you know, give some tips to how to get started in tournaments and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been fun. You know, we've only done a couple so far, but it's been super fun. Do it with the president of the club, Jimmy Straws. We've been having Nikki the weatherman on a regular basis, but we're going to start talking to other people in the club here soon, especially once the season gets started. But yeah, check it out. We've got a YouTube channel set up, youtube.com/@CKBassmasters. So go check it out. Give it a subscribe if you're at all interested in kayak fishing, which, gotta imagine if you're watching this, you probably are to some degree. So check it out. Should be fun. Got one. Another one on the Texas rig. Actually felt that one. That was kind of cool. Another little skinny fella. They're hungry. All right, bro, you can go. Get on out of here. All right. 2 fish. It's still really early. We can turn this into a decent day. I mean, it was a decent day already. What am I saying? You know, out here on the water, mid-January. It's nice and sunny. It's not snowing. My hands and feet aren't freezing. Mid-January in Colorado, catching bass. What's not to love? That's a downright awesome day, if you ask me. And I don't really follow football anymore. Don't really care a whole lot. I don't really follow any sports anymore. I was never a huge football guy. Hockey was always my game. But Broncos won in overtime yesterday, beating the Bills. Again, I don't really care a whole lot, but I got a lot of buddies who do, so go Broncos, I guess. I didn't really have a football team growing up. The only team I can legitimately say I've been a fan of since birth is the New York Yankees. I was born in upstate New York, in Troy, New York. Both my parents are from the Albany area. My dad is a lifelong hardcore Yankees fan, so I was raised on the Yankees. Still love them, even though I don't follow baseball very closely at all. I'll always be a Yankees fan. But like I said, hockey was my main sport. Even though I was born in upstate New York, we didn't live there very long. We moved away when I was like 1 year old. I mostly grew up in Connecticut and Philadelphia. So my first favorite team was probably the Hartford Whalers. But of course, they were never very fun to follow, except when they had Gordie Howe, maybe. But even then, that was the end of his career. So he wasn't really Gordie Howe. So then, yeah, in the mid '80s, I was sort of really just getting into following hockey and didn't really want to be a Whalers fan. I sort of hopped on the Edmonton Oilers bandwagon because they were just ridiculous in the mid '80s. Gretzky, Messier, Yari Curry, Grant Fuhr, Glenn Anderson. Geez, I could probably name the whole team if I wanted to. But yeah, so I hopped on the Edmonton Oilers bandwagon for a couple years there. Then Gretzky got traded away, and I was in high school by then. I figured, you know what, I can't stay an Edmonton Oilers fan. That's kind of silly. And since I was from New York, technically from New York, and a Yankees fan, I said, you know what, I'm going to switch up. I'm going to be a New York Rangers fan. I've been a New York Rangers fan ever since. Back in the days when I actually followed sports more closely, I was absolutely obsessed with the Rangers. Then after high school, I'd spent my high school years in the Philadelphia area. And being a Rangers fan in the Philadelphia area gave me an absolute hatred for the Philadelphia Flyers. Then after high school, we moved back up to Connecticut in the early 90s. Being up there, I got the Madison Square Garden channel, so I got to watch as many Rangers games as I wanted. And then, of course, in 1994, if you know anything about hockey, you know the Rangers won their first Stanley Cup in 54 years. 1940 was the last time they won the Cup. Out of 82 games, I bet I watched 75 of them. So I lived and died with the Rangers that season. It's by far my favorite moment as a sports fan was the Rangers winning the Stanley Cup in 94. And they haven't won a cup since then. They've been to the finals a couple times. They went to the finals against LA and one other time I'm forgetting, but yep. Haven't won one since. Won 54 years without one, and it seems like it might be another 54 years before they get one, unfortunately. I think this might be my first jerkbait fish at this pond. I believe it is. Not a big one, but it's number 3. Don't flop. Little guy. Alright, well, that's pretty much all she wrote. Working my way back to my takeout spot. 3 fish day. Not bad at all for this time of year. Good to get out. one more time on the ponds before the ice takes over. Yeah, that's about it. Like I mentioned earlier, check out the CKB podcast every other Wednesday night for now. It'll once the season starts, it'll be every Wednesday. But anyway, yeah. Thanks as always for watching. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Because I don't have enough subscribers, like I mentioned earlier. I need 20,001. But they need to be real subscribers. So yeah, please subscribe, and we'll see you at the next one. See you at the next one? What the heck does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Yeah, thanks for watching. Get after them.